you about stuff. We're sort of working closely, not just because we're both the casting directors for it, but also because as it's sort of like this thing where if we don't, it's going to raise like more questions. Like, okay, they seem to work well together. What's just happened? Nah, it's interesting, really, but like, it's a very interesting threat. Like, I'm gonna look forward to writing scenes between the two. But yeah, all in all, like, do you have sort of a, you mentioned you wanted to do a whole level of Savitar going and killing Iris. I'd love that to happen, partially because her character is just a fucking bitch.
You cut out for like the last 15 seconds. Sorry.
I was just saying,
Anyway,
like, it's interesting because, like, Iris's character is just such a bitch at this point. Like, you look at how everything has been done for her in the show, she is actually just a bitch.
Poor writing.
Yeah, it's poor writing, but it's also, like, it's also somewhat...
Apparently, even...
Oh, no, continue. Well, I can't hear you for a sec.
Candice, apparently, even she doesn't.
Yeah, like, I've seen things where people have said they weren't happy. And it's very interesting because, like, Savitar / Future Flash, you look at him in, like, the comics. I think it's called Out of Time, the storyline where the Future Flash appears.
Yes,
it
is.
Yeah, there's not really... There wouldn't really be much you can take from that because you consider, like, the sort of, like, is it worth having him as this main threat? And I wasn't really sort of a fan of the character in the slightest, purely because, like, it's this whole idea of, well, what's the point of having another version of Barry, only this time he's a killer and he's wrought with guilt.
He's like you're saying, he's kind of crazy. He was traumatized for, like, what, 20 years?
Yeah, he was, and, like,
a lot longer
than most people. And I think it'll be an interesting sort of position when you consider, like, is Savitar doing this to be selfish, or is he doing it because he genuinely wants things to change? It'll be interesting to find out.
I mean, even in the comics, it was both, wasn't it? He didn't. He finally decided he'd had enough. He wants, like, everything back to normal, and it'd also be good for the world if everything is back to normal.
Yeah, it would. But with that, like, people will no doubt speculate, like, is he doing it out of guilt, or is he doing it to try and show Barry, like, you can't be a hero. I've already tried. We can't save people. We've done too much wrong. And I think it will be an interesting sort of character idea to explore. Because once again, like, it's going to be similar with what I did to Godspeed, and you're going to play a part in this as well, because you're voicing the character. We're going to have to, like, completely break this character and, like, put him back together with all sorts of different things. I'm making crazy arm movements people can't see, but that's what's going to... It is what will happen, really.
Yeah. It's going to be awesome.
It is going to be awesome, but, like, again, it goes back to his Godspeed's relationship with other characters. Like, he and Savitar don't like each other. They've had enough of each other. Like, Godspeed is out to sort of make Barry become a killer. He wants Barry to keep doing what he does, and it's really going to put the two at odds as well. People wonder, like, oh, why is this happening? Why does it have to happen? And it's going to be this sort of, in a way, yin and yang situation, really. You consider it, and it's all going to turn into that. Like, people will speculate for who knows how long. But, it's sort of debatable, like, what we do after that, really. And, again, I think a lot of the actors we get, like, the only person we've really cast from, like, outside of the project is Caitlin. And there are still all sorts of things to go for it. I'm just going to quickly flash up the voice actors page. People can actually go here, like, we're accepting auditions longer than until December. Like, we're going to be accepting them for months. Which is sort of ironic, because, I think it'll get a bit more attention now, because, like, Teco has actually closed the casting on his game. He's closed auditions for it. So, I had a look I think yesterday, and he has... Yeah, he's actually...
Oh, no, he needs to extend it.
Oh, does he need to extend it?
Right.
Does he need to extend it? I'll have a quick look.
Yeah, yeah, because just
Hang on, wait
And
for
his
the
server
connection, mate. Okay.
just the other day.
Yeah,
Yeah, you just need to extend it.
he... Oh yeah, he's extended it until like 11:59 today. So he's probably going to extend it again.
Yeah, I don't know why he doesn't just extend it until December.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, it depends if he wants to sort of keep things going that long or not. And it's a very interesting kind of perspective because, you know, for a while you look at it, you think, okay, this one's closed. That means another fan game has the opportunity to get a bit more of a look from other people who might be going around looking for things to voice act in the DC universe. And like, you know, the characters I'm showing now are by no means all of the characters in the game. They're only a very select few. Like, we're adding in all these characters from like across the place. Like Caitlyn and Cisco weren't even on the original like list of characters who were meant to appear.
Oh, they were.
No, they weren't.
No.
But like I'd already sort of like put them in. Like I figured that, you know, Mina is going to be sort of an outsider, and like it'll be interesting in terms of like what is she going to be doing as well.
Yeah.
Because there is going to be a death in the game, I think.
So again,
I do think there will be a death in the game. I think it's sort of bound to go that way. Yeah. I'm not sure who it will be that dies. It might be Mina. It might be someone else. It's going to be very sort of interesting because like we are looking for young actors to genuinely play the younger characters as well. Like, and like we're taking it seriously. Like, and people would think, oh, it's a fan game. They're not too bothered. We are actually setting like try and sound this sort of age. The only reason it was different with Godspeed was because like I'd already auditioned for him before that was put in place.
And it was a good audition as well.
Yeah, and this was before like I'd completely sort of nailed down the voice of the character and everything. Like, it's all different really because no one knows what to really expect from him. I think someone's just arrived home, which is typical because like stream can probably hear the dogs barking, but there we go. Nah, it's typical. Like, I always do something and then there's an interruption, but then again, I was partially expecting this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, Godspeed's gonna have very interesting relationships with characters such as Caitlyn, Savitar, Barry, maybe even Cisco. Like, it'll all be interesting as to how he looks at them.
We know Cisco. There's gonna be some relationship between them because he's gonna be interested in that suit, isn't he?
He'll be interested in the suit, but like it sort of depends. Like, is the suit going to stay as is? Like, it really depends on the concept art. Like, he'll wonder how has a guy made a suit that's able to handle all of this, and it'll be interesting as to whether we make some tie-ins to the Justice League film or not. I really don't want to, but like it'll be like a plausible answer.
As long as we don't have armor being strung around by string, I don't care.
No, it's all sorts of things that will happen, really. That said, let's talk about some other characters and hints about the game. Like, let's talk about some other characters who haven't actually been put on.
Just before that.
Yeah.
Before that,
you know how you say about.
I didn't hear that.
You know how you say about how Savitar hates. How you said
Savitar hates Godspeed.
Yeah.
Well,
at the moment, we haven't decided what that reason will be.
No, we haven't. Like, it's gonna be It's gonna be interesting. I think it's sort of like, you know, Savitar's gonna have these memories of like what Godspeed has done.
Yeah.
But I don't think it'll be the reason that there's gonna be a very sort of strong hate between the two. Like, they're working with each other because they have to. But it's interesting, like, who is really sort of in charge of this partnership. You know, is it Godspeed? Is it Savitar? And like
comics, really.
Yeah, like
they're both really vicious. So.
They are both really vicious, but like Godspeed in a way has this code. Like, he's only going to go around killing criminals, and like I think an interesting thing will be because like I've sort of alluded to it in the scripts as well. The question will be like, is he going to threaten to kill Iris maybe to get Barry go into that darkness. Like Savitar failed, but like Godspeed, no matter what, will have his powers because like he got them. Like I'll confirm this now as a writer. He did get them in the Speed Force Storm from season 3. He got his speed that way. So no matter what, he's still going to have his powers. Yeah, no, even in the comics, but like people wonder, oh, the timeline could potentially be changed here. No, it's going to stay the same. Like he's going to have his powers from there on. Like people might have wondered, did a later event happen? Like is he only starting out? Maybe, but like he was sort of like choosing to play things silently. He was choosing to sort of study the Flash a bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, confirming that as a writer, that's how he got his powers. So he is still going to have them in the sequel.
Yeah.
Say about the suit. Say about Cisco. Like, how do you do it?
Well, we don't know yet. It could.
You know, it's a whole mess of things. Like people will wonder, oh, is it to do
It
with the
could be-
timeline or is it to do with another reason?
Yeah.
No one really knows.
And the way he has, it could be the way it works. We don't know. We don't know yet. It could be something.
Yeah, it could be.
It could made up. We haven't really decided yet.
No, we haven't, but it's also going to be interesting to explore.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So yeah, other characters that are going to be in the game, they'll be interesting. So yeah, hopefully Savitar is
Still
still
there,
Yeah, I'm still here. Yeah, that said, let's drop some hints about the game and like other characters in it. He says, thinking like, what can we particularly say that doesn't give away too much? Oh,
there?
yep,
Finally.
I'm still here. Yeah, what hints can we sort of drop about the game and other characters, really? Because, like, that'll be interesting. And waiting.
Think. Any hint?
You know, I think we
Well,
can
we
sort
know
of say, like, characters such as Captain Cold will be there. Like, you know, we've already sort of put Heatwave on the audition page. It's just going to be interesting. People will be like, oh, what's happening here? Yeah, characters, you know, other characters such as the Top are going to appear. Yeah, Weather Wizard is already cast.
In Heatwave's description, I changed your description.
Oh, yeah. Let's have a look. Oh, yeah, I see it, because I've seen that before. I'm just like, yeah, that's pretty good. Like, it's interesting as well, because, like, characters such as Captain Cold or the Top, you're wondering, are the rogues going to form, like, properly? Because, like, you get hints of it in the show. I think in a way they've formed, but they're not. They're sort of going to sort. There's a lot of like differences going on, like, and a lot of that you could, you know, you don't know what to think really. Another character who we've not put on there yet is Hunter Solomon.
Oh yeah,
he's going to appear.
Mr. Hunter Solomon.
Now, before people like wonder, like, is it going to be as Zoom? Is it going to be as Black Flash? I think it will more than likely be as Zoom. But he'll be a beer.
He will be.
Yeah, I think.
I can confirm that.
Yeah, I think it'll be more like they're appearing in these sort of. He's appearing in flashbacks, really. Like you're wondering, is he there as flashbacks or what? Our mystery character still not cast, still no auditions for him, but he is, you know, still on the page. He is going to be the villain of the sequel.
Well, your version, because of course we don't know what the other Kanon's planning yet.
I'm the only one who's so far submitted anything for it. Like I've sent you a screenshot of like what it all is. Is so far.
I know. As he's mentioned that he's been writing DM. So yeah, it's got to wait. Who reveals it?
I think like the story, you know, like despite the fact the sequel is still in flux, I do think it's sort of going to be very interesting because like we're skipping a whole point here because I sent you a plan of what we're talking about, but you know, considering the fact we've mentioned this character and how he's a completely original one, I think we're sort of going to try and lean the sequel to like, and I'm not saying this in a biased way. I think it's sort of going to lean towards like what I'm setting up anyway, particularly because it's going to be very heavily on like the aftermath of this, but it's going to be very it's going to be very different. Like you're going to lose a lot of the characters who are in this. I've minimized the window again. I need to stop doing that. You'll lose a lot of the characters who are in this, but you're also going to probably get people coming around and like asking, you know, oh look, can we like try and get involved in this again? Let's see if we can play a different character.
Oh yeah.
Because we'll be bringing in loads of others.
Me,
it's a much bigger and diverse cast.
For me, that is a big part. Characters, that is a big part.
Yeah, because I think it's a reason. That's the reason I've sort of ended up doing the cutscene scripts unofficially. Like, I'm taking the time to sort of dig deep into these characters. Like, what's the dynamic going on? What's happening in Team Flash? What's happening in Team Savitar? I guess because it's still interesting. Like, who's in charge of who?
Yeah, Savitar being.
You know, is he out for some sort of, you know, who's out for what? And it's going to be a lot of like divides because Savitar, like the way I sort of structured scenes between the two, Savitar really won't appear until much later. Like he's not going to appear until like 3/4 through the game. There might be like Godspeed mentioning, oh, there's this bigger threat, but Barry and Co aren't going to find out until like you think it's nearly too late. But yeah, but yeah, Zoom will more than likely be appearing in things such as flashbacks. Like most of the characters we've got on there, like the character list I sent to Crimson Wrens has sort of been put on the page. Another one is going to appear. Jay Garrick is appearing. It's going to be interesting to cast him and stuff as well because like, what sort of attitude is he going to have towards all of this? Like he's going to come from an Earth where the timeline hasn't been reset from all of this. So what's his take? Yeah, because he's from Earth 3, isn't he? So what's his take going to be on all of this?
Yeah. Is it going to be Earth 3 or is it going to be Earth 2? Because
he's Earth 3. If you remember from the show, he's from Earth 3.
Yeah, but in the comics, he's from Earth 2, and we're mixing it. So what we can do? Earth 2.5?
Nah, we're doing Earth 3 for him because like that's the version set up. That's the version I'll probably be writing it for.
Yeah,
as well.
And it's also the version that more people get familiar with.
Yeah, it is, and it's a lot of time sort of taken considering characters like this. So, you know, all sorts of things can happen.
Hell, with how active John Wesley's ship is with communities, maybe we can try and get the word to him about the fan game.
You know, he is in like Facebook groups and stuff, and it's all very intriguing as well because who knows? What's going to happen? Like, it's a very interesting sort of perspective. I've got like Steam going off because I'm sending the stream around like messages and that quickly.
Yeah.
But
he's in some Facebook groups.
Yeah, he is in some of these Facebook groups, and he has a very interesting sort of communication relationship with the fans. Like, I'm going to guess like half the stuff that gets leaked from the game, it's leaked because of him. You just know it. You just know, like, instantly, he's the reason that a lot of stuff.
Sorry about that. You cut out.
Yeah, you just know, like, half the stuff that gets leaked from like the Flash and all of that. It gets leaked because of him. Talking to people in these Facebook groups.
That's my new headcanon now. It would be funny though if you actually leaked all like episodes of Flash to people.
Like people say there are like leaks going on from inside the CW like Arrowverse all the time, and I think he's the reason it happens if he's in these Facebook groups.
It'd be him and Stephen Amell, innit? Because
they're both very active with the communities, and like that's something you admire, particularly because like you know, how's Jay going Yeah, but back to the point. How's Jay going to react to Godspeed? Like, you know, like, is he going to have this sort of foreboding idea, or is he going to maybe slightly